Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to share with you a recipe that honestly I can't believe I have not shared with you before. I was looking through my list of recipes and was like, why have I not shared this yet? This is my low-carb cauliflower mash. Now, in your mind, when you think of buttered mashed potatoes, this is the equivalent in a cauliflower version. This is low carb and it's so super simple. Just a couple of ingredients and I'm going to teach you how to make it. You're gonna love it. This is the basic recipe. You can build on this. You can add cheese, add toppings, add different kind of flavors, but this is my basic recipe. So let's go over the list of ingredients. First off, you're gonna need cauliflower. My cauliflower in my store right now is huge, like literally huge. This is half of a large head of cauliflower. If your cauliflower is a little bit smaller than this, which it very well might be, just use one head. I'm using half today, and I'll show you what to do with that in just a second. We're also going to need a little bit of garlic powder, some mayo, not all this by any means, but this I just wanted to put it into a different container. This is just full fat Hellmann's mayo. It's what I love, always in my fridge. You're also going to need some butter. Salted butter is what I'm using today, and a little bit of salt and pepper. That is it. That's how simple this recipe is. So the first thing I want to do actually is get going with my cauliflower. Over on my stove I have a pot of water that just about this much filled with water, so it comes to a simmer very quickly. And then I'm gonna use a little basket like this for steaming vegetables. So I'm gonna cut up my cauliflower, not into super small pieces. You won't want it to be super small because we're gonna end up putting it in the food processor anyway. So what I'm gonna do is cut this into 3 big pieces and then kind of cut it into smaller pieces from there. Let's see. Just kind of eyeballing it into big pieces. There we go. That's about the size that you want. It doesn't need to be any smaller than that. You certainly can if you want to, but you don't need to. There we go. And then I'm just gonna lay these into my basket, and I'm gonna get these steaming over the boiling water for about 5 minutes. And that's gonna soften up our cauliflower and get it ready to put into the food processor. And then from there, we're just gonna add a couple of these ingredients that I showed you earlier, and you got yourself some mashed cauliflower. Super simple, super tasty, really, really good, and using all low-carb ingredients. So as soon as the cauliflower is done steaming, I will bring it back here and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I've taken all my steamed cauliflower and put it right into my food processor. This is the best way to do it, and to be honest, this is the only way I've ever done it. I'm not sure if a potato masher or a blender will work in this case, just because I have not tried it. This is definitely my favorite way to do it. While the cauliflower is still hot, what you want to do is take a little bit of garlic powder and just sprinkle it right on top. I like to use like a half a teaspoon to a whole teaspoon. And what I also wanted to say, when I'm doing the measurements right now, it's gonna vary. It varies how much cauliflower you had in your head and how much you had in the head of cauliflower. It also matters how wet it is. So the ingredients that I'm gonna be using are kind of just eyeballing it at this point, but you have to kind of just add a little until you get the consistency that you like. But of course, in the recipe that I put posted below, I'll put exactly what I used for the size of cauliflower and everything that I had. But yours might be a little different, so just keep that in mind. You can always add, but you can never take away when you're putting ingredients into a blender. So just be careful, or food processor. So just be careful. While it's still hot, I am gonna put in a couple tablespoons of butter because cauliflower loves butter, and so do I. And also, butter is low carb, so why not use it? Low carb, nice, luxurious, fluffy cauliflower mash. So to that, I know you guys saw mayo earlier and you were like, what are you doing with that? Mayo is a secret ingredient that a coworker told me to use in mashed potatoes. So they made mashed potatoes that have a nice little tang to them and creaminess, and I'm like, why can't I add them in here? It's low carb. So that's what I'm gonna do. I like to start with like 2 big tablespoons just right in. I'm gonna do a little bit more too. It's like about 2.5 right there. So what I'm gonna do now, and you wanna kind of work quickly because you don't want the cauliflower to cool off too much because I want it to melt the butter and melt the mayo and everything. So I'm gonna turn this on and just let it do its thing. I'm gonna try to let it go for a couple seconds. I wanna try to let the cauliflower pieces break up on their own, and then I am gonna go in there and scrape down the sides, but I wanna see what it does on its own first. Ooh, it looks so good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just scrape down the sides like this. And let's see, I'm gonna give this a little taste. Creaminess on point, perfect amount of butter. Actually, I am gonna add a little bit more garlic in. So it's gonna be a full teaspoon in here this time. And then I'm also gonna go in now with my salt. I'm gonna generously salt this and pepper it. Go right around. I'm gonna give this one more final pulse. And then I'm gonna put this in a pretty bowl and just show you guys how I like to serve it up. Here we go. All right, all finished. I'm going to go and spoon this into a bowl right here. And just look at this as it falls. I just want you guys to watch. As you're seeing this, do you not realize that this is not potato? I mean, it's just phenomenal. That's why I love this recipe, because it literally mimics exactly the consistency of just creamy mashed potatoes. And the taste, I think, is better. And I've eaten a lot of mashed potatoes in my life, but now, you know, cauliflower is just as good. It's just great. And it's healthier for you too. You're eating a nice dose of vegetables. It's just great. And the low carb ingredients are perfect as well. So I'll show you guys what I like to do. First of all, I like to just kind of fluff it up a little bit more like that. And then I like to, at the table, do a little bit of salt right on top. Can never have enough salt. I mean, especially with cauliflower, it just loves it. Brings out the flavoring. Put a little bit of pepper right on top. And then just because it's all white, I like to break it up with a little pinch, I mean tiny, of just some dried parsley. Just break it up in your fingers. You could also do chives. You know, it's whatever you have on hand. I happen to have some dried parsley, and I just think that pop of green is just absolutely beautiful. I think it just makes it so like appetizing. And if you didn't know any better, would you honestly think that this wasn't potato? Come in and take a look. I'm going into the serving bowl, guys. I'm digging in. Look at that. Look at that. Holds right up just like potatoes. Nothing better. When you're a low carber and you are craving mashed potatoes, make this instead. Not only is it simple, you saw what I did, you saw what went into it. It's not complicated. It's the best side dish. This will go perfectly on your holiday table, but it could easily go on your weeknight or weekend dinner table. These are the recipes that I strive to create for you guys, because they're exactly what I do in my personal life. Simple, easy, tasty. That's it. So click on the link below. It'll take you to my blog. I'll put the, like I said, I'll put the amounts that I used today. You might have to adjust them depending on how much cauliflower you guys have. But hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you try it, which you totally should, I mean, it's just amazing. So if you do, give me a thumbs up if you like this video and if you liked the recipe. Comment below if there's something that you want me to recreate, or if there's something that I haven't posted yet that you're like, where is it? This was one of those for me, so sorry about that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please come back. I'm gonna be cooking low carb, easy recipes for everybody to enjoy, but I'll see you guys next time.